have always been those who believe that UFOs, unidentified flying objects, are from outer space. But the truth may be closer to home.
I'm a great cynic about UFOs, and I'm quite sure that was mainly our airplanes that were flying around.
For over 60 years, in top-secret research bases around the world, flying saucers have been designed, built, and flown.
Secreted away from the rest of the main company is a place where they're building flying saucers.
Some even claim to have seen them.
There was no mistaking what they were. They were flying saucers.
This is the secret history of attempts to harness the technology of the flying saucer to produce the ultimate military plane. These are the real UFOs. The story of the real UFOs begins in Nazi Germany. As victory in the Second World War was slipping from their grasp, German scientists were trying to perfect weapons that might turn the war in Hitler's favor. One of these was Victor Schauberger, an inventor who had produced models for a flying saucer. It had met the promise of a flying machine that could maneuver like a helicopter, but travel at supersonic speed undetected by the enemy. Schauberger's craft utilized a tornado-like vortex, which produced magnetic effects causing levitation.
Victor was recognized by the German government, actually met with Hitler, and later was inducted into the SS and put to work further developing this flying saucer concept.
He worked alongside a group of brilliant German engineers, including Rudolf Schriever, Andreas Epp, and Dr. Richard Miete. All produced highly advanced designs.
The Germans actually had 3 separate developmental areas for flying saucers, one at Peenemünde, one at Breslau, and the other at Prague. At all these 3 facilities, flying saucers flew.
The Germans had, in fact, gone far enough into development and testing that aircraft were in the air. And one company, Messerschmitt, had flown a complete saucer-shaped aircraft.
These pictures of the early prototypes resemble photographs of UFOs that would emerge in the coming decades. But this was not the world of science fiction. These were highly advanced UFOs. For the German military, this lethal weaponry was being developed to win the war. The battle for air supremacy in World War II dominated the military struggle in Europe. By 1944, the tide was about to turn against Germany and Hitler's Third Reich. And then on June 13th, a week after the Allied D-Day landings, Hitler unleashed his deadly secret weapons. Over a period of 2 months, thousands of V-1 jet-powered flying bombs attacked London. Some were shot down from the ground, others in the air. This deadly development in warfare technology was to start a whole new era of military aviation history. The use of flying saucer technology to produce even more efficient killing machines was to be the culmination of this research.
During the Nazi period, we had a flowering of new thought, of scientific thought, of technological development. These scientists were freed up to do a lot of work. They developed science in every field that is relevant in our lives today, and as a matter of fact, we're still living off that carcass.
But there was nothing new about the basic principles of rocket science. Since the 1920s and 30s, there had been an explosion of innocent enthusiasts experimenting with rocket propulsion across Europe and America. But what the Nazis were doing was anything but innocent. At their deadly weapons research facilities, scientists were working on a new generation of weapons. And alongside the rockets and missiles, real UFOs were a crucial part of that program.
One of the incredible things that happened during the Second World War was the amount of technology that German scientists were turning out that was devoted to a war effort. And that included rocketry, it included the jet engines, but it also included some remarkable work in terms of flying saucer craft.
But time was running out for Hitler and his scientists. On all fronts, the Allies were breaking through. The Germans were in retreat. The flying saucer technology, just like all of Hitler's other ultimate weapons, would come too late.
Even right to the very end of the war, it seems they really believed that these super weapons, these super delivery systems, were going to be able to at least stall the Allies and they were going to be able to arrive at some sort of political settlement of the war.
Hitler's dream of winning the war with his super weapons never came. By May 1945, the final battle for Berlin had started. The war in Europe was virtually over. But this was only the beginning of the story of the real UFOs. Within 3 months, the Second World War came to a dramatic and horrifying end. At 8:15 in the morning of August 6, 1945, the Enola Gay, a B-29 American bomber, dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima. With the war finally over, the former Allies had now become rivals. The Soviet Union and the West would soon be locked in a battle for the latest military technology.
Well, at the close of the Second World War, all the former Allied powers were engaged in a race to capture German technology.
Americans captured a complex for the manufacturing of V-2s and the plans for many other missiles, but the Russians captured the latest models of jet aircraft from the Germans and a good amount of rocket scientists.
But the key question was who was going to capture the real UFO scientists. The secrets of German rocketry and missiles was not the only technology to fall into Russian and American hands. The Cold War was about to begin, and alongside the very public nuclear arms race, with its displays of missile hardware, there was also another secret arms race going on, which the public knew nothing about. This time, to find the ultimate flying machine, a flying saucer from the world of science fiction. During the Second World War, there was a major technological revolution in jet propulsion, atomic physics, and real UFOs, flying saucer technology. The Germans had led the world in the development of real UFOs, and now their ideas and scientists had fallen into the hands of the two superpowers, Russia and America. German UFO flying saucer engineers Victor Schauberger, Rudolf Schriever, and a Dr. Mita were secretly working for the Americans. While Andreas Epp was reported to be working on flying saucer